like to welcome on stage Axel Lemaire, because this topic is very important when you mix digital with such an emblematic industry as luxury. Then we need to have the French government backing it, right? So we are really glad and honored to welcome you, Axel. Thank you very much. Welcome.
Thank you.
I leave you with the
Thank
stage.
you. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here, and you can be certain that the French government is backing you. So, dear family founders, dear friends, where better than in Paris to discuss the future of luxury? I couldn't agree more with that opening question. Dear Nicholas, where is he? There. Paris, when it sizzles, rhymes with fashion, it rhymes with glamour, with glitzy showrooms and savoir-faire everywhere. I might add another question, though. Can we afford the luxury of not having that discussion in Paris? And then the answer is no. Understanding how the digital revolution redefines fashion and the luxury sector altogether as a whole is essential for such a key sector of our economy. And it is indeed a key sector. You know all about it. The French luxury industry, it accounts for 20 to 25% of this $20 billion industry. It boasted 4 to 5% growth in 2013, after a few tough years, that is true. And France is the undisputed #1 in the sector. It attracts world-class brand names and well-known big players. They employ a third of the 170,000 workers in the French luxury industry. And the other 2/3, they work in SMEs, in small businesses, a diverse ecosystem that has to tackle a rapidly changing business environment. Just yesterday, you might have seen it. Xofi, a consultancy and economics research think tank, published a survey of the 500 top job-creating companies in France over the last 5 years. And the results were clear. Big companies, they do create jobs, but they do so if they are digitalized. Digitalization of business models in the service sector and in this industrial sector is in direct link with job creation. So is the digitalization of the luxury industry an important subject? Yes. Can France keep its head start in that industry? I'm convinced that it has the ability to do so. We've got the skills, we have the talents, we have the creativity and the technical engineering. I was in New York last week. I saw Miss Liberty, and Miss Liberty is a symbol of that French ability to put together creativity and technical skills. But will that be easy? Certainly not. But I can give you the 3 reasons why it can pull it off. First, the digital revolution is the 3rd transformation that this industry faces. So it brilliantly adapted to the first 2, which were mass markets and globalization. The arrival of mass markets pushed the industry toward diversification. Haute couture is now combined with prêt-à-porter to cater to a wider range of buyers. Globalization opened new markets and redesigned supply chains. Luxury industries became heavy industries, not just a bloated form of craftsmanship. And becoming a global industry also means having to face new challenges, such as the certification of origin, for example. After the tragedy of Rana Plaza, remember the collapse of a clothing manufacturing plant in Bangladesh. corporate social responsibility and actually plain decency call for a more careful oversight of production. And digital tools can actually help with this issue too. RFID tags, for instance, can help with traceability and help to ensure high standards throughout the production process. Tackling the digital revolution will also change the way the industry structures itself. It will reshuffle value between actors, but it can also grow it throughout the value chain. This is precisely my second point. You cannot write luxury without UX, user experience, or customer satisfaction. It is the defining point of the industry. Why do people buy luxury goods? Well, because they're worth it. This culture of excellence is at the core of any luxury good. You know better than anyone else. Not only must the product be flawless, but the customer satisfaction derives from the service that comes with it. Lifetime guarantees, worldwide reach, caring sales assistants in dedicated stores or in department stores. And in almost any sector, this attention to detail and to building a customer base is a primary focus of startups. Gaining traction for a luxury brand, that is not geek speak, or not only, it's just a rebranding of basically doing your job right. What is new, however, is what good customer experience means in a digital global economy. It means a seamless continuum between flagship stores, online retail experiences, and in-store digital tools. Go to any major outlet and you will see iPads, Galaxy Tabs abound. Customers want to check themselves if they would prefer the same handbag in a different material or color, or browse between the 50 shades of gray for their business suits. And soon, connected devices and also all kind of new creative apps will help bringing even more information directly and immediately to customers. All the transformations of e-commerce and m-commerce are at play in the luxury industry. And thirdly, France can lead because of its diversity and because of its entrepreneurial spirit. There are many ways to size the digitalization of the economy. World-class companies can transform their business, and they can stay on top if they move fast enough. France has many such companies, and they can and they should count on them. They have to work with startups because that's where fast innovation comes from. And new brands can rise as well. France has talents. So do many countries, both in Europe or in emerging economies. It can, however, enter the competition with a few technological feats, especially in the connected textile industry, dans les textiles intelligents aussi, and a few marketing feats building on its diverse cultural background and its creative strength. Finally, startup entrepreneurs coming from outside of the fashion industry can also reshape it and invent new growth models. Americans here today may have heard of Nasty Gal, a US company. In France, we rely more on vide dressing, which gives a second life to your luxury shopping sprees, but this can change. The future may lie in inventing a new mode of consumption for luxury goods, much like prêt-à-porter boosted haute couture. Fostering the growth of startups is one of my primary missions through the French Tech label. We strive to develop world-class entrepreneurial hubs in all major cities in France, but also abroad, and we started with New York. Our government created the Public Bank for Investment. This is pretty unique in Europe, and in the world, the BPI France, which now represents around 20% of the national investment capital each year. We also created a specific fiscal status for innovative SMEs and a dedicated financial vehicle to support them in their R&D expenditures. And now, for example, innovation, branding, marketing, design can be included in those very important tax credits. So the entire chain of business financing has been strengthened to better work with the others: pre-boot, initiation, development, transmission, innovation. Now the challenge will be to help those startups to scale up, and to scale up in Europe. This is why we have developed a secure legal framework for crowdfunding initiatives, and we're looking at ways to attract more capital investments. In other words, they're not my words, France is a startup paradise, and innovative startups can now rely on the bigger players as well. Investments made via a corporate venture can be amortized over 5 years. So we're encouraging bigger companies to invest in smaller businesses. This measure covers minority shareholdings in innovative SMEs, even via mutual funds. So they can rely on our tools to find funding, all those entrepreneurs. But most of all, they must have the vote of confidence of VCs from around the world. This is why I went to London and then to New York last week. This is why I'm happy, very happy to see such an international audience today. France is open for business. Do not listen to the cliches and stereotypes, even in the lottery sector. So to launch these work sessions, I invite you to take risks yourself, to be creative, to be provocative. It does help sometimes. And to remember this message of hope signed by Coco Chanel: fashion goes out of fashion, but style never dies. Enjoy your day.
And I know you haven't got time for questions, but you know, France has been getting a really bad rap in the international press lately. The no working after 5 p.m., no emails. So it's great to see and meet a minister that not only speaks the English, with the English very well, but also understands technology. So once again, big round of applause, Axelle Lemar.
Thank you. Thank you.